First of all, it's a very overwhelming moment for me because right from my childhood to where I am today, I had different phases of life, and someone is present here from every phase of my life. So thank you everyone for coming here today. I think first of all I would start from the fact that my life, I'll come to Comms Credible, and two learnings I had very early in my life. I'm very, very indebted to my father because he got me into sports. And, I was a sports freak. I would not miss a session of sports every day, be it a storm, be it rain or anything. I would be there. You could find me in that club playing table tennis or running or doing something. And sports taught me a lot because every day you started from zero. You could have days where you would not win anything, and there could be days, you are on a winning streak. So one thing which I learned very quickly and very early was, you are a zero every day. So you have a new battle to fight every day. Second learning I had in journalism, and it was again like my boss told me very early, you are as good as your last story. So I think that kind of, that was always with me that, again, it's the same thing out there in the professional world. Whatever you might do on a daily basis, everything starts again from zero. Third learning I had at Policy Bazaar. And, I think it was great because I was among those people who are very, very passionate about building a business, a genuine business. And this was during this phase I started to doing what I hate. It was like, being out of your comfort zone. And it really, really helps you, when you start doing things which you hate. Because then you kind of are able to tackle so much in your life, whatever may come be. I'm going to come to, Comms Credible now. And I think beyond the fact that we've won awards, we are working with so many companies. Some people tell us very good things, you've done very well in the 3 years. I've taken, I take everything as a compliment, but I don't take everything for granted. So I think for me, what has been most satisfying is that I'm responsible for a lot of people. I'm able to provide livelihood. I've been an employee myself. The fact that I can think like an employee helps me a lot when actually dealing with people. So for me, a more proudful moment is that 3 years of Comms Credible, we have paid salary come what may on 30th of every month. I think for me that's the biggest single success for us. Same goes for our consultants and the partners who we work with. We try to clear dues all by 10th of the next month, irrespective of whether we get paid or not. At times payments can take 6 months, 1 year, but again, having been an employee, I understand somebody may have a loan, somebody may have something. So I've always ensured that the payment goes on time. Again, because we are a bootstrap business, we are not a funded venture. I'm very, very proud that today we have in our bank almost 15 to 18 months of capital or cash reserve. What I mean to say here is today a situation may come with this COVID-like situation and there's no business. I can sustain for 15 to 18 months paying salaries to my people on the current run rate. We again, when I was in different companies, and I understand the importance of social security. I feel, insurance is very, very important. I was a financial journalist. I've been on the other side, and I've had my personal situation where I know how much money meant to us when my dad was diagnosed with a heart situation. So right now we have a cover of almost 5 lakhs, which I don't think many small companies give. And we have actually right now, we're going to scale up to 10 lakh, from October 1st. We don't have any leave policy so far. Everything is very trust-based. Obviously, there will be a policy at certain time, but 3 years of Comms Credible, we have kind of worked on trust. We built this venture during COVID. Everyone was remote, and I want to thank our partners because they trusted us a lot during those times. And there was a lot of, on a daily basis, you didn't know. You can think that maybe they might not, they might part ways. So there are always days where you might think it might rain, there might be a storm, but I think people persisted with us, and that's how we grew. And again, I think as I mentioned, we are working with today companies who are NASDAQ listed. There is a venture capital fund from Europe. My own university has started working with me, which is again a very overwhelming moment for me because I give a lot of credit to where I've reached, because that was my I think most important decision. Again, when I was in a comfortable career, I was doing well in ET, to take that leap of faith. I think that was the most difficult moment, and I want to thank again a lot of my colleagues at that time who actually gave me money. I didn't have enough money, so there was a 7.5 lakh loan, a collateral, is required if you go abroad. So, I didn't want it, we didn't have a collateral. So, 7.5 lakh loan, and plus I had my some little earnings. A lot of people chipped in, and I feel again, people are always there to help you if you really want to do something. I think I have never had any godfathers, but I had a great father and a great family, as well as, I think great mentors, friends, I had a lot of support. I never felt that I was alone in my journey. Whenever I went to someone for help, people helped. And I feel, if you are genuine enough to ask for help, seek help, people help. So there was a lot of support around. There are a lot of us who kind of, during our journalism days, stayed together. There's Shuja today. There are a lot of people who could not make it. I think they have been my pillar of family outside my home. I think one thing, obviously a lot of people have gone away, but I think one thing I'm really, really passionate about changing, especially how PR is perceived is, look at us as professional consultants. Somewhere media has had a certain perception of PR. They look at them as, the spin masters and all that names are given, lobbyists and all that. Something I want to change is, they are playing a very important part in changing your narrative, developing your narrative, or making you go from strength to strength. So look at us as consultants, forget about we are a PR firm. We can be looked as a B2B firm, SME firm, MSME firm, and I feel this industry, I've seen both sides, it has a lot of potential, lot of potential. And where we are also trying to make a lot of changes is the way we kind of have curated products, where we're taking a lot of chances and doing some pilots in terms of what we feel will help businesses have that impactful narrative, or whatever their objectives. It could be crisis, it could be, raising funds. Coming to the last leg, my vision for Comms Credible. Somewhere, I've seen a lot of companies in India being bought out. There are very few names in this industry who have kind of grown up and scaled up. Usually after a certain size, they get sold off. And I think hats off to those people, Indian companies who are scaling up. And now, in fact, I see a few even like, going overseas. So I feel really, really delighted. And somewhere, our vision is also same. We want to work with startups because I think that's the hardest bit, because no day is same day. And the kind of effort you need to put in on a daily basis, because when you're working with a startup, a lot changes overnight. How can you kind of adapt to that mindset where you're trying to help them in their journey, not only through narrative, but being part of their extended team. And that is what, we will continue to do. We'll try to work with a lot of companies who can become future policy bazaars if they have the vision, if they have that intent. We will provide our full support. And secondly, I want to, somewhere build Comms Credible as a venture where if anyone wants to come into Asia, they look at us, they think of us. And we are already working with companies on their collaterals in the Middle East and Singapore, and somewhere we will kind of go to that leg even more in the next 2 to 3 years. Also, I want to put a lot of spotlight in this next 5 to 7 years on story making. I always read this word about storytelling, but I feel developing that narrative, that story making skill is very, very important. And anyone can tell a story who is a good speaker, but behind it, the notes, the work that is required, that research is required, is very, very difficult. And I feel this industry, those who will flourish, survive, go up, will be the ones who will be the story makers. And again, thank you to all the partners, thank you to all the friends. It's been a great journey for me personally. I've a little hijacked it from Comms Credible to my own personal journey, but I think in a way, I think my story matters for story of Comms Credible to grow further. Thank you, everyone.